Hey, sweet friends, I'm getting on to do Songspiration. I think it's number 15 already. Hope I didn't mess that up. I'm like, how can it already be that many? It's going by fast. But today's Songspiration is going to be, you got it. I'm a survivor, not gonna give up. I'm not gonna sing anymore because I have not a great singing voice, but you got the picture, right? That is definitely the song from like the 2000s, Destiny's Child. It's my jam. And it's not just my jam because of the great melody and being able to dance to it when I was younger. It's the words. And lately, the last couple of years, God has just been whispering that to my soul. Like, you are a survivor, April. I know that all of hell itself has seemed to assail against you, but you are a survivor. You're going to make it. And you're not just going to make it just kind of, just barely, just okay. You're going to thrive. And so, friend, I wanted to get on and I wanted to encourage you. You are a survivor. Whatever life has thrown at you, whatever you think that you can endure through anything. You are resilient. You are stronger than you think. And I just wanted to be a little bit vulnerable and tell you about a couple of things I have survived through. When I was 12 years old or so, life goes by so fast, but I was probably mid-teens or pre-teen or some of those ages. Like, I'm almost 40, so I'm like, that was a long time ago, whatever it was, guys. I dealt with and struggled with what a lot of my family didn't even know. I'd only told my sisters and my parents that I struggled with what now I have later looked back and discovered was an obsessive compulsive disorder, to be clean. I don't know even how it started. I just remember feeling dirty all the time, and I had to take a bunch of showers and do all this crazy stuff to feel like I was clean, and it was almost like I was lost in a maze in my mind. And I dealt with that for, I think, about 2 years. And one day I finally spoke the truth, and the truth set me free. I told my aunt, and through talking to her, and because a big part of that was fear of, it wasn't just all the things that I had to do in my mind. It was a fear of people knowing and that I was different and that I was weird and that I was scarred and that I was dealing with this mental illness, basically, is how it felt. And I felt so isolated and so alone and so different. And so, like, I just didn't feel like even crying out to God sometimes. It was just like, God, I know you. I love you. Jesus, you're my savior, but I don't feel like you're saving me. Like, I felt anything but a survivor in those moments. But when I progressed through that and I kept pushing through and God got me through, I was a survivor. And yes, I may deal with a bunch of stuff right now, but I do not deal with that same thing. God has been able to deliver me so much from that. It's been amazing. I mean, I had my kids and I was able to change diapers and do all this stuff and to love on them and not be like, oh, they're germy, they're gross. No, I was able to just, it didn't even faze me. It was fine. And then I was like, okay, that's one thing. It's my kids. And then a few years ago, I became a caregiver. And they were like, oh, you're just going to be a companion. You're not really going to have to deal with any of that. I did have to deal with all of it. And God gave me such grace. I was able to, again, be able to help them to do all the things that I needed to do and to do it with love and compassion. And those things that used to bug me and make me feel dirty and contaminated, it didn't bug me anymore. I was able to push through past all of it. I was a survivor, not in my strength and in my power, but in God's. And I just wanted to encourage you that whatever you're going through, be it a mental illness, be it an addiction, be it a relationship breakdown, I've been through all that. I wasn't maybe addicted in the ways that where I had to have alcohol all the time, but sometimes I've been addicted to my fear. Sometimes I've been addicted to my pain. So friend, whatever you're going through, you are not alone and you are a survivor. Don't let those voices in your mind tell you otherwise. And yes, you may have to fight stuff, but you're not going to keep fighting the same things. And you're going to fight from a different place. And even if you fall down, friend, I got to tell you, last night I was calling my mom, trying not to ugly cry. I'm almost 40 years old, calling my mama. But I felt down again. I felt like after all this time I've been sick and just going through all this stuff that my kind of, I guess, barriers were down. And I felt like these voices were again trying to just come against me and tell me all the things. Like I told her, I thought that I had been through all this and I had fought against all this and all that, the voices of insecurity, the voices telling me I wasn't beautiful, I wasn't kind, I wasn't good enough, I wasn't thin enough, I wasn't all the stuff. They were just telling me everything I wasn't, and I was buying it hook, line, and sinker. And she prayed over me, And she reminded me that I'm not who I used to be and that I am God's beloved child. And I wanted to remind you, you are not who you used to be and you're fighting from a different standpoint. And so today, yeah, yesterday I might have been ugly crying, calling my mama, but today I'm getting on here to remind you that you're a survivor and that you're not alone. So don't let those voices trick you and fool you. And even if for a minute you fall, you just get back up and you remind yourself who God says you are. That you are beloved. You are a survivor. You're going to make it, my friend. And you're going to kick the enemy's butt. I love you. And you're not going to fight those same things over and over again. You are going to fight from a different standpoint. God is strengthening you, and He is pushing you forward and propelling you and holding you up. You are not alone, my friend. You've got this, and God's got you.